We're now recording. My name is Doug Lasher, Charter Review Commissioner. We have Greg Anderson, Charter Review Commissioner, and John Latta, Charter Review Commissioner. We're the Vacancy Subcommittee, and today we'll be making our decision on the final approach, a scenario that we're going to take to the commission and talk a little bit about our frequently asked questions, um, and to review the email that I had sent out, which also included the ballot title and explanatory statement. So we'll go ahead and get started. Um, the the drafting committee, we wanted to get a head start because we didn't know, and I was just in the groove, so I plowed through my three resolutions this yesterday and the day before, and so anyway, knowing what the vote was, pretty substantial, we knew that the combination was the appropriate scenario at this point. But I do want to have a discussion and to have a motion to move that forward. If not, I'll work on something else. I mean, another resolution for the vacancy committee. But do I have any discussions on it right now? Any thoughts or ideas? If that's the direction we should go?
But there's only 600 ballots. Last time I saw the chart for the review results last night, it's pretty solid where we are.
Yeah, and I feel pretty solid about this group. We had some big winners there, so I feel really good about what we've done. Um, so do we want to go ahead with the combined scenario and the resolution which I had drafted out there? Does that look okay for you? And I know, John, you reviewed it.
Yeah, I'd make a motion that we go ahead with that with your draft.
Yeah, it's actually with your corrections.
Yeah, and there might be some date corrections depending on you know what comes out of the legal review. But yeah, I think it's good, and we can safely assume that amendments 1 and 2 are going to pass on this year's ballot.
I second.
Okay, there's a second. All those in favor say aye. 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 Okay, motion passes unanimously. The ballot title and the explanatory statement, we don't necessarily have to discuss it here. If you want to just send an email back if you have any modifications, and we could just work through those. We have a little time to do that. And again, the resolution, if there's any additional thoughts or changes, we actually have until December, well, whenever they want us to send it to them before September, probably around December 1st, to make any changes if there's anything that lightning strikes you or that you want to do something.
Well, I mean, John's FAQ suggestion in the other email prompted me to reread this going, how is there a better way to say the explanatory statement as in cover some of that answer to that question in there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the explanatory statement is tricky because it doesn't allow you to explain the reason why. It just,
correct.
Which just, to me, I think they need to change that. It's not explaining anything, but that's the way the auditor has it labeled. So, and John, what was your question?
I replied to your email this morning.
Oh, okay.
Just a few minutes ago, actually.
Okay. Let me.
And the question was along the lines of, well, if we don't pass this amendment, this proposed amendment, how would an unplanned vacancy be handled? And that's I didn't put the answer in there because I don't know yet how to say that in a short sentence.
Yeah, it what it goes to the statutes, and statute under a nonpartisan will have the council just appoint somebody, whoever they want to appoint. So you know, it could be their cousin, their friend, or whatever.
Yeah.
So
so but I think that should go on our FAQ
okay.
somewhere, because people need to understand that.
So I'm trying to see. Okay. So that's a good question. Yeah. Okay. Well, we could add that.
You may want to make two of it, one for the electeds and one for the council. Two versions of that same question. And with that, because that way the answers,
yeah,
which are slightly different, can be there.
Yeah. Okay.
Excuse me.
Because there is state guidelines on the council vacancies, but it's very broad. So the answer is it makes it a clear public process.
Okay. And I could reread those statutes. I just don't have them memorized to the nth degree, but I could look at that and do that. Do you want me? I mean, I'd be willing to. I had 3 there that I just before I woke up, I was all of a sudden thinking about, because I was panicking about FAQs because I was sort of in a blank mode for the last couple of weeks about it. But I'd be willing to write this stuff up. I mean, it's sort of in my alley or wheelhouse to this stuff, and I could, if you want to volunteer to work on the one, John, that, or I could just go through the whole works and do it and give it to you guys to uh, edit and review and massage it. It's up to you. I don't mind plowing through these because I sort of think I know what I want to do. It just is going to take some time to do it.
Yeah, I'd volunteer to help you with that, or even to come up with a first draft if you'd like, Doug.
Okay. Well, do you want to work on your question? Because I thought that's a good one.
Yeah.
It's in the statutes. I do have one of the things, my office here behind me, that's why you have the green screen, but things to the side and everywhere is a sort of a mess right now. I need to get things organized, and I have the statute somewhere here printed out.
My only other thought is, do we really want to have the why are these positions elected question that you suggested? It's Pandora's box on that one a little bit.
Well, I get that question asked a lot all the time over the last 35 years.
I understand. It's just a
yeah. What I'll do, I'll answer it, and that's why I want you guys to review it and edit it and think. I mean, I don't mind spending some time on it, but if you don't feel it's appropriate, that's fine too. And we could deep six it too, because you may be right. It may, but I think there's some because people wonder. Well, then why don't you just have the staff run that office? And so there is a rationale behind that, and why our founding fathers, because mothers couldn't vote at that time, the founding fathers made that decision because they didn't trust everybody, so they had these checks
that
and
could be
balances.
a future charter review commission change. Who knows?
Yeah. So yeah, and so anyway, I mean, I don't mind writing it up and giving it to you, and then we could at our next meeting go through these and see which ones we don't want and do want. So, I know the ranked choice voting folks are a little ahead of us on the curve in terms of frequently asked questions, but I could try to catch up with them at a committee level, competitive in terms of trying to get our work done. But boy, it'd be nice to have all this work done by the 19th, and we could just enjoy the holidays, have our vote, and get things over to the legal folks so that we have plenty of time by the end of the December to do whatever we need to do. But my sense is I don't know what the commission is planning to do, but I would keep all of these subcommittees going until December 31st because we never know at the last moment what things may come up or that we need to revisit or change. Um, so, uh, so yeah, I like these frequently asked questions because they're going to be sitting out there for until next November, and so they're going to be on the county website. So they are an opportunity to educate folks about how their county government works, because there are differences between cities and counties in terms of how they operate. They're more single organizations where another group is handling multiple functions for the state. So anyway, it just it, I don't know if that's really discussed in schools. It's been so long ago, I don't remember. But
I didn't grow up here, so I didn't go through the schooling, and I don't remember what my kids learned.
did in your state did you have a state and local government type of
There
class
wasn't
in
there
like in
was a
third grade?
I want to say it was in late middle school, early high school. It
Okay.
was a government class, but oh, what specifically? I don't think they went much below county. I don't remember them ever talking about city government,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
I think there was some mention of county government. That's the best I can do.
Yeah.
Long time ago.
Yes. And that's uh, part of the problem as in a democracy. It's if you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah.
And so, well, um, if what I would like to do is I could try to crank out this and get this out, these frequently asked questions. Would you prefer just a dialogue by email or and then just come back and do a final adoption um, and decision whether we want to keep these or not? Whatever the final the frequently asked questions are, or how do you want to accomplish this task?
I think email would be probably the quickest way for us to have a product that we can approve, and then yeah,
Okay,
we should have a meeting to approve it.
okay. Um, just trying to look at when we should have another meeting, and I could schedule that out. Do you want to do a week from today?
The 17th,
Yeah.
we have an open house that
Oh, we
day,
do.
but at the open house is at 5.
Oh,
So
Yeah, the town
I
hall.
mean,
town
yeah.
hall, yeah.
It's up to you until I'm wide open. I didn't put that. I have the charter review, but I didn't put that was the town hall. Um,
I'm okay that day,
here's
but
okay.
ask, you know,
11 o'clock again?
Yeah, that'll work.
That works for me.
Works for you, John?
Yes,
Okay.
it
Well,
does.
I'll go ahead and schedule a meeting at that time to wrap up our uh, frequently asked question process. We don't have to have a lot of questions, but I think what I'm going to be doing here will look like a lot because people could pick and choose. Why do we need um, a county assessor or something like that? And
I think we ought to focus our questions on things that will help the voters be more informed about the question that we're proposing.
Right.
okay, yeah,
And,
it,
not get too far afield of
yeah,
that.
and I may get too far afield, so that's why I need to have you guys help make the decision of what
That's
I'm
why
trying
I
to.
mentioned the other one being perhaps a Pandora's box question.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh, I think I'm gonna go through the mental exercise of it. Take up my time, and I'll let you guys uh, take your machete to it. Uh, and um, be ready to be able to answer questions. Sometimes I like to write when I have my thoughts, get them down so that when there are questions down the road, that I'm able to respond to them a little
Well,
more effectively.
when you're a diamond in the rough, then you get chipped at every once in a while, right? I guess.
Yeah. Uh,
To keep the
so
metaphor.
yeah, um, yeah. My question, or what I was trying to drive at, is you just it's very if you didn't have someone coming in from the office for a short period of time, and we're talking about months, um, it can be very disruptive to our organization. And I've just seen it, and that's what I'm trying to. That these are positions where you don't. It's unusual to find people coming off the streets to be able to come in and just manage the skill sets. You can have people come in and do it, and during that first year or term, they're learning the trade. And I mean, people could come in that have certain skill sets, uh, maybe more in the supervision managerial skill set, especially if they have to come in and make some changes or put some better internal controls in place, or having to make some changes in terms of personnel. Sometimes that's good to have someone come in just to do that and then leave after that. But those are usually in unusual cases. But and you could usually get somebody coming from the outside on a temporary basis to do that anyway. But anyway, we got 11 o'clock on the 17th. I'll send out a notice, and we'll do things by email and try to. I'll try to get things out to you by this weekend at the latest. Um, and take a look at it and take your red pen and say, no, this doesn't uh, make sense for what we're trying to accomplish, or whatever. And and I think the question, are you going to work on that then the last question there on the how you that you asked, John? You're going to take care of that part? Okay. I
Yes,
won't worry about those
I'll work on
questions.
that. I'll get something out in the next couple days.
Okay.
Yeah,
Great.
Thank,
before this weekend, I guess.
Okay. Great.
thank you.
Anything else? Okay. Well, I am going to close our meeting then, if there's nothing else, and I'm going to stop the recording.